This afternoon's NASCAR '08 Busch Series race at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're under the lights for the Food City 250 and the shorter of the two NASCAR Busch races for Bristol Motor Speedway on our full season. We have just 10 races to go, so we're getting closer and closer to clinching the Busch Series championship. And in tonight's race, I think we can take another step forward to that championship crown here within a few more races after this one. We did win at Bristol earlier this season. We ran a 300-lap race there. This one going to be 250, so a little bit shorter of a race. I didn't qualify as well as I did earlier in the season. I made some adjustments post-qualifying and post-practice to try to help get the car dialed in. I felt like it was a little bit too loose, even in qualifying, and I think that costed me a good lap. All in all, though, I think we're going to have a good race. 261 out of 300 laps led for us in the first race earlier this season. I think I did qualify top 5 in that race. This one we will be starting in 16th, but we'll see how we can do for today. Shahir Gaming and Entertainment, thanks for tuning in, and as well as many others that are tuning in. We're a little bit early today. I know last night I said 6 p.m. Eastern, but getting the stream up and out of the way a little earlier. That way I can work out a little bit earlier because that will be post-stream. A lot of that, we did 2 races yesterday, and I told myself I was going to work out when I got done streaming. I did not, so I need to make sure I do that today. And, yeah, and then I got to do it all over again tomorrow. I'll work, and then I'll get off of work, and I'll be right here with you guys again. We'll have the Cup race at New Hampshire tomorrow. But as far as today, again, back to the Busch Series. And I think we're going to have a little bit better of a race for ourselves here as the green flag is in the air. Kind of checking up on the initial start. Look to get back onto the bottom lane quickly, and we did. How about that? 3 wide. Not wasting any time. This is risky. This is really risky down here. 2 cars that were outside made a little bit of contact. I drove it in really deep. Trying to clear everybody. I've got as much downforce in this bad boy as I possibly could have. Finished 15th at Michigan in the last race. It was only the 3rd race all season that I had finished outside the top 10. And obviously in the Cup race at Michigan yesterday, I ran out of gas. So Michigan did not go well for me. I think I won the truck race there, but everything else was pretty terrible. Sad part is I had speed in the Cup race. I blew it. I can promise you that we're not going to be running out of gas anymore in this game. Maybe on a track like this, but I can risk that because it's only a half-mile short track. We coast around. Not going to lose a lot of time. Wade Bamhall, thanks for tuning in as well. Expectations for Sonoma? I mean, I really don't have any. Other than I think it's going to be just another next-gen road course race. I'm not expecting to see a lot of great racing necessarily. So hopefully it exceeds my expectations, but I don't think it's going to be much different from what we saw on the road course racing side of things, both with the street race in Mexico City in the last couple of weeks. The only thing that's different is I think that Shane Van Gisbergen isn't going to be light years faster than the rest of the field like he's been the last 2 weeks. But at the same time, he could be. I expect him to be a little bit more competitive, so maybe that will lead for maybe a better race overall. Yeah, I mentioned at the very start of the stream why I'm a little bit early. Busting this thing out. Even though I qualified 16th, though, we are moving through this field very quickly. Going for second on Sam Hornish Jr. It is not going to take long. It's going to take less than 16 laps to get to the lead. The 15 cars that out-qualified us. The adjustments I made post-qualifying have definitely helped the car. It's still a little loose, but loose as fast if you can hold on to it. It was a bit too free in qualifying. Now the thing feels planted. So that's good. Should be a pretty easy one-stop race. Hanging on Matt Kenseth's back bumper. And to the lead. 16 laps to go from 16th to 1st. Average of pass a lap. Now we've got the clean air advantage, and Mark Truex Jr. is out in front. I noticed I tried to back the corner up, and that's when the car gets really free, but then I tried to drive it in a little deeper, and it sails up the track more than I'd like it to. I'm having a hard time trying to find that happy medium. I was really hoping the balance of this car would be a little bit better. I don't remember. I mean, I'm obviously not struggling because the car's got speed, but it's edgy. And I don't remember being this edgy when we ran at Bristol at any of the series the first time around. When I do get it to roll to the bottom of the track perfectly, it's great. There's nobody around me, it's a little bit easier, but I get traffic around me and it's pretty difficult. Keep everything running as smoothly as I need it to be. There we go. Sometimes you tune in for the live commentary, trying to read the comment. Gotta say, do a very good job with them. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I used to do realistic, commentary with these video game races. I kind of want to get back to doing that, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, you guys let me know. For any long viewers of the channel, long-time viewers of the channel, when I'm doing these video game races, obviously I was still interactive with the chat before, but now I just kind of just play the video game, I guess, more than commentate the race as if it was real. But also, when I first started the channel, I wasn't doing live commentary streams for the first couple years, so it was mainly just the NASCAR video game stuff, so that kind of helped guide me, I think, in the right direction when I was starting the live commentary stuff on the channel. That I'm like, all right, well, if I can do it for this, I just got to translate it to a real race. Already got a 1-second lead. I'm just feeling more and more comfortable with the car. The more laps we tick away. We're already 30 laps in now. Some good stuff. I just got to know that the rear tires are probably going to fall off the car a little bit earlier than the fronts. As long as it's not too terrible. I could make another wedge adjustment if I really need to, but the car's so fast at the same time, I almost don't want to touch it and risk going the wrong way. I've already ran a faster lap in this race than what I did in the last race at Bristol. I saw that I ran a 14.388 as my fastest lap the first time I ran here. Our fastest lap already is 14.308. So a little bit more downforce was definitely the way to go. It's helped the balance even more. And if we dominated leading all but 41 laps in the first Bristol race, man, what can we do in this one? Shorter race. I think it was a one-stop race when we were here the last time. I didn't go back and actually look at that. I don't know if those extra 50 laps caused us to have to pit twice or not. Should be much easier to make it a one-stop, I would imagine. Don't risk running out of fuel on the track. Well, here I can push the issue because it's a short track, so we can make it back around, no problem. Obviously at Michigan, that was a problem. Michigan, I just mismanaged it. I wasn't really... I mean, obviously I miscalculated it. But it was so weird, at least for me, to kind of comprehend how I was as short as I was. Because I thought I was going to make it back around, no problem. And then contemplate whether I wanted to pit that time or not by short pitting. Because in my head, I thought we had 2 to 3 more laps of gas in the car, and obviously we didn't. I didn't even have 1 more lap in it, but I thought I had 2 to 3 laps. And if I tried to push it a third, it was going to be risking running out. So, yeah, just mismanaged it under the cautions. And I guess you'll have that from time to time when you go to a track for the first time on a game you've never played before. You know, obviously I've been playing this game virtue of all the series that we've ran, but that was the first time I'd ran a cup car at Michigan in this game, so I had no idea exactly what the fuel window was going to look like, and having those few extra cautions in the early going of the race, and I just miscalculated it. I'll just have to start gauging it off the AI a little bit more. It's tough, though, because I've gone off strategy. For instance, the 2 races before Michigan, Dover and Pocono for the Cup Series, I went off the normal fuel strategy. It's definitely something that's worked for me before and helped me win 2 races literally just right before last night. And then last night, it completely backfired in the worst way possible. So I know I can do it, but I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful on tracks that I do it. Like, for instance, we go back to Pocono. We have 1 more race there. I know I can do what I did before, manage the fuel. It's the same 500-mile race. We go back to Michigan. I know it's a 400-mile race again. I know I ran out of gas. You know, pit with the rest of the field. So I go off strategy there. If I need to go off strategy at Dover, at least I know I can go about 84 laps on a full tank of gas. That's our window. Start keeping a notepad or something. So that way when I go to these tracks again. That's what's going to be really interesting when I end up going to the fantasy schedule. And there's so many fantasy tracks we're going to have on the custom schedule season that those are all tracks I've never touched on this game. I actually haven't even ran most of the fantasy tracks. Gosh, was it NASCAR 05 or NASCAR Thunder 04 or something like that? Was the last time that we ran the fantasy road courses on the channel with the custom schedule season? I know I didn't in 06 or 07. I know there was one NASCAR game where I did, but I don't remember which one it was. Because I slapped the wall up turn 2. I think that's the first time I've hit the wall. Not bad for 49 laps at Bristol. 2.5 lead. I've put a few cars a lap down. Yeah, the car's definitely a little loose. Three years next month. Yeah, you're the, I think you're the, man, I don't know the timeline. I don't know if you're the first person that's noticed me in public or the second person on the YouTube side. Actually, no. 3 years. You're either number 2 or number 3. Because Inside Uranus saw me earlier that season when I was in Fontana for the Auto Club Speedway race in 2022. And the guy that found out that I was me, essentially, at my work, I don't remember when that was. Just because I've worked there for 4.5 years, and I don't know the timeline of when he knew it was me. I think I only had like 1,000 subs on the channel, so I want to say he might have been the first one that ever was like, hey, I know who you are. Oh, a little free there. A little bit of tire smoke, nothing too bad. I'm hauling the mail around these guys, though. We are clearly the ones to beat here tonight. No question about that. If we had more than one pit stop in the race, I'd probably make a minor wedge adjustment when I'm on pit road, but knowing it's the only stop, in case I go the wrong way on an adjustment, there's no chance for me to really go back in the right direction again. Although I guess I could lap quite a few cars. When we catch a caution, then maybe I can make an adjustment. We'll play this out first, because obviously we're going to want to go as far as we can. You don't want a short pit here at Bristol. You'll lose a couple of laps. How quick it is to make a lap around here. Well, my home track in Michigan didn't go well for me yesterday, but my favorite track at Bristol is going pretty well tonight. Different series, but we're rolling. Smoke, somebody got against the wall off turn 2 the last lap. Got to see how many cars are on the lead lap right now. I've lapped quite a few of them. That's still the same smoke that was still dissipating from before. I think I've probably lapped almost half the field. Oh, wow, it is going to be a... No, it's going to be a one-stopper. It's going to be a lot closer than what I thought it was going to be, though, coming in. It's lap 66 when I hit halfway out of gas, so probably looking at lap, what, 132? So yeah, we can definitely go past lap 125. Visiting your parents? Cool stuff. Nice extended stay. When you're watching races, you always go to your phone and scroll. Pitting early? I mean, pitting as late as possible when you're on a short track. You go to those bigger tracks where you won't lose a lap, you want to pit earlier just in case a caution comes out, but this is the complete opposite, where if a caution comes out and you pit earlier, we're going to be at least 1 lap down, maybe 2, depending on what our distance is over second. I would assume, let's just say, with the lead we have now, which is just less than 3 seconds, we would go 2 laps down, I would imagine. even if we have a pretty clean 4-tire stop and the pit crew doesn't make any mistakes. Because I got out to this 2.5 to 3 second lead, and we've just kind of managed it the whole time. It's not really continuously growing. We definitely got through the lap traffic pretty good. Didn't really make any mistakes. I don't even think I had contact with any of them. The right side tires in the yellow on the tire wear indicator. Definitely going to be a 4-tire stop. That was not going to be a question anyway for when we hit pit road. Going to come nowhere close to using all 4 sets in this race. Danny O'Quinn Jr. blowing a motor. That's a second Roush car to have an engine failure. I saw Jamie McMurray in the opening laps on the apron after he blew an engine. I'd like to get a 1-2-3 finish in the point standings for DEI. Paul Menard, a couple races ago, just fell to 4th. Matt Kenseth's up to 3rd now. Menard's in 10th currently. I passed Kenseth for the lead, so definitely know he's got 5 bonus points in this race. Dale Jr.'s 2nd in points. And obviously we're in the lead. We'll end up winning this championship. There's no doubt about it. Again for this Busch Series. Now the Cup Series, I'm not going to guarantee anything, because when we get that reset with the chase, anything can happen. But season-long points format and having as big of a lead as we do, over 1,000 points, yeah, we're gonna clinch. We're gonna clinch even earlier than what we did in the truck side. More than likely. I clinched 6 races early in the trucks. Granted, that was a 25 race season. This is 35, so we should clinch earlier, knowing that we pretty much had the same body of work over the course of the season as what I did on the truck series. Pushing a little too hard. I'm finding the limit. I've hit the wall 3 times, and 2 of them have been within the last dozen laps or so. Every time I have hit the wall, it's been off of turn 2, I've noticed. For whatever reason. This track is pretty symmetrical. One end's not that much different than the other. Even on the feel standpoint. Like, sometimes you go to certain ovals and especially a lot of the intermediate tracks, you got the curved front stretch. So it might lead for a more awkward angle getting into the corner in turn 3 than turn 1, so it'll drive a little bit different. Not here. I'm trying to target clinching the championship at Richmond. There's a chance we could do it in the next race at California, but we're probably going to need some help considering Dale Jr.'s in 5th in this race. So we're not going to outscore him by a lot of points today. I can't remember what the magic number is to clinch the title after California, but it's like 1,200 and something. And we're still a little under 1,100 ahead. He DNFs today or at California, though. We got a really good shot to clinch the title at California. "90 laps in." We'll alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race. Catching this gigantic line of lap traffic. Definitely not hard for these guys to get backed up. They're all, for the most part, giving me a little bit of room. I can get decent grip even with the left sides down on that asphalt, slightly below the concrete. Almost kind of works as a little bit of a grip strip. Especially if I hit that area of the track when I'm not on the throttle. Just kind of roll through it. Try not to hammer the gas until I get back on to the concrete with all 4 tires. Casey Kane just up ahead. Just trying to pull up a thumbnail for this race. I usually just kind of go onto Google Images and try to find something, and usually it's a picture that would have taken place at the racetrack specifically that we'll be racing at for that night. But I ended up finding out Casey Kane won this race in real life. I didn't really watch the Busch series much growing up as a kid, so my history of knowing drivers is one thing, but knowing who won what race is not as good as what it is for the Cup Series, because there's a good chance I didn't even watch it. 4.5 second lead now, obviously largest of the race. Oh gosh. Just slammed myself and John Wood into the wall. Sorry about that, John. Not the way I wanted to lap him. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Shahir. Surprised that Chicago beat Mother Nature. Yeah, I know. That's, well, it's the first time in the 3 years that we've gone there. Even the last race at Chicagoland Speedway had a rain delay, because I was at that one, and that was a good 3.5 hour rain delay. 247. It's so. It's like the. It's like a random stat of the day award. That excited for your 29th birthday? I gotta keep forgetting that my birthday's rolling up real quick. I only got about a month. Getting old. You're 26. I feel like every couple weeks I'm finding another gray hair in my beard. found my first gray like it was probably 2-3 months ago. I think I found like 2 or 3 of them now. Gonna have that salt and pepper look within the next like year or two at the rate I'm going at. It's easy to, you know, I find it, I don't pluck it like that. I think that's stupid because I want my hair to grow back, but you know, easy to kind of clip off because I'm constantly trimming my beard, keeping it nice and tidy, like every 3 days or so, lining it up. I keep finding them like kind of like underneath my chin on my jawline. Not on the face part of my beard, but it's more like underneath my chin. And I'm noticing that I found a couple of the grays. Oh! Contact. Is that a sarcastic? You can see it? There's no way that you guys can see the gray hairs on my beard from the camera. There's zero way. It's not that noticeable. Like, I'd have to point it out, I feel like. Because it's literally only like a couple hairs. It's kind of like trying to find a needle in a haystack. At some point the needles are going to overcome the hay. Then you're going to be having to try to find the hay in the needle stack. Little SpongeBob reference. Still caution free, almost halfway home. And this is definitely one of those tracks where we tend to see some cautions in the middle of green flag pit stops. We've got almost a 6-second lead. So Picker doesn't even really have to be perfect. We've got a pretty good advantage. Slap Denny Hamlin when Pablo Montoya about to go lap down. See Paul Menard up ahead, and I think he's still in the top 10. So we've lapped quite a few cars. And we cleared Montoya off turn 2. Whoa. Big skating moment there into 3 and 4. I was sliding all the way through the corner. I know I can definitely go to lap 130 on fuel. So again, the further we can go, the better. We're going to be halfway this time by. So our window's definitely open that we can make it on fuel to the end from here. If we see a caution before we pit. That'd be the most ideal thing. I'd rather pit under caution. Even if I lose the lead, we clearly have a quick enough car to get it back. Yeah, I guess if you screenshot and zoom in, even still though, I feel like I sit so far away from the camera. Yeah, good luck finding them. And I just trimmed my beard this morning too, so I don't even know that they're existent right now. Too young to go gray, man. I lost my hair so quick. Had a full head of hair like 3.5 years ago. And it was falling out quick. Like, well, it looks like we're gonna have to start shaving this. Then I tried to grow it back out again last summer, and it just it didn't look good. I didn't feel confident not wearing a hat anywhere. So, like, dang. So that sucked. Now my beard's going gray. Got a midlife crisis, and I'm not even midlife yet. At least I hope not. Aging like milk. I'll be cottage cheese here in a few years. All right, well, we got trouble. Kevin Conway's around, and he just slammed into us. Staying out one more lap, just in case we catch a caution. I was going to pit that time, but then they almost wrecked. Our right front's really starting to go away. I'm going to pit this time by. I stayed out an extra lap in case we caught a caution. And we're out of gas anyway, so. Timed it perfect. Right as I was braking to bring the car in. It's right when I ran out. So that was perfect. Well, we almost saw our first caution. Brant had gray at 13. So I remember when I was going to the barber, specifically, I want to say I was like 17 or 18. I was still working at McDonald's. I think I was 17, probably going on 18, like that summer. But I specifically remember my barber saying like, hey, I'm like, no, I did not know that because I don't look at that side of my head. And I wasn't balding or anything at that time. But it was just something he noticed. And then, you know, you progress like 7-8 years later, and now I am bald. So I probably should have known from that day that you're not going to have a lot of time left with this. Now the beard's got some grays at 25. Unbelievable. I feel like that's young. Because there's somebody I work with. I always refer to him as my wrestling buddy because we've gone to a couple of wrestling shows. We try to watch the WWE PLEs. At least when my schedule conflicts with it. Obviously, there's times I'm streaming at the same time they're going on. But when I'm not, we try to meet up for those, get some pizza or something. But anyway, he was talking... I don't know, it was probably around the same time that I ended up having my first gray that I noticed in my beard. And he was talking about that. He was like, I think I found my first gray. And he's older than I am. He's 31. But it wasn't in his beard either. It was like, it's on his head, in his hair. I'm like, man, I skipped the gray part. I just went mostly bald. Mine just started to fall out. Now I have some grays in my beard. And I don't think he has any. Dang. Go bald for... I already am bald. I just wear a hat. Yeah, one of these days I'll take the hat off consistently. It's almost kind of my identity though at this point. I would look so much different. I would look a lot older. You know, that's a lot of the reason I do wear a hat a lot. I'm pretty self-conscious about that. About the fact that I look way older than I am. I always joke around. I'm like, I'm 25, looking like I'm 35. I don't think I quite look like I'm 35, but it's me exaggerating a little bit. But I definitely don't think I look like I'm a day under 30, though. Especially considering that, you know, anybody I would consider friends or have hung out with from work before, like 30, 31, 32. So I feel like anybody that doesn't know my age, they see me talking to them or something at work, they probably just assume I'm their age, that we're all like 30. Oh, I'm not shaving the beard. That isn't going to happen. I first started growing facial hair. I first started growing facial hair when I was 18, but actually had like good facial hair probably about the time I was 20, 21. Then I like actually started taking care of it and stuff. And I think the last time I was clean shaven, I did it once when I was 21, I want to say. So this was a little bit before I had the YouTube channel, I do believe. Or maybe I like didn't stream that week or something. I definitely wasn't streaming very often, but if I was. But yeah, I ended up shaving, and I did not like the way I looked. I'm like, I am not doing that again, and here we are. I'm a big believer. I'm like, if you could grow a good, like, if you have great facial hair, keep it. Like, take care of it, but keep it. At least it looks better for me. This was before I started working out stuff, too. So it makes it look like I have more of a jawline than I actually do. I probably have more of a jawline anyway now than what I did, especially at that time with working out and stuff, but I don't want to risk, you know, shaving it and finding out that I have the same small head. It definitely made my head look a lot smaller. And now that I'm bald too, it's like I would look so weird. I would look so weird clean shaven. I'd be like, who is this person? I don't even know if it'd make me look younger because I don't have any hair on the top of my head. Like, it would just make me look weird. Zero chance. I'm at the point now I would never work a job if I had to be clean shaven completely. You want me to trim it a little more? All right, I can get around that, but it's not completely coming off. That's my identity. Tim Fowler, by the way, thanks for tuning in. Ethan, welcome to the stream. I don't think I shouted either of you guys out yet. A little less than 100 to go. We're caution-free. 5-second lead. It dipped down a little bit during our green flag pit cycling. We're good on fuel to the end. Everybody only had to pit one time in this race. And I think we led every lap during those green flag stops, too. And if we didn't, it was really all but a couple. Not going to lead as many laps as we did earlier this season because we led 261. This race is only 250, excuse me. But percentage-wise, we can lead more based on when we took the lead at lap 16. Play for the Yankees. I think they actually allow some facial hair now. It's not like it used to be. It used to be like you can't have any. And then they were like, okay, you can have like a mustache. And I think they lifted the ban that you can have a full beard, but it's still got to be like pretty well trimmed for the most part. Like, I don't even think mine wouldn't fly. I remember seeing the video of the ball boy having longer hair. And, like, the Yankees broadcaster was saying something about, like, oh, well, why does he, you know, why can he have long hair and, like, the rest of the team can or something? And then they told the kid he had to cut his hair, like, mid-game. Mid-game, he had to cut his hair. I'm like, are you serious? Ever since then, I hate that guy. He's done some regular games on ESPN. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure he did the ESPN games for the Tigers when they were having that playoff series against the Astros last year. I'm like, oh, we got this guy on commentary? Did the whole series. I'm like, I don't want to listen to him. Poor kid. He wasn't even that old. I mean, he looked young. I mean, he looked younger than me. It's like, well, why would you, like... It's like, if that's the criteria, and, you know, they're lenient on it, but then somebody's like, oh, well, we have to do this, so why can't... It's like, well, maybe they should have, like, mentioned that to him when he was hired in to do this specific job. Because clearly somebody said it was okay, or they didn't say it wasn't okay. That reminds me, there was this one time I had to shave back at McDonald's. And, at that time specifically, like, we couldn't have any facial hair. And I like barely had any. It was more like just like sideburns, if anything. 16, 17 years old. And I forget, like, it might have been a day I had like school or so. I don't know. One way or another, I got to work. I didn't think it was going to be an issue. I didn't shave before I went into work, and then they had me shave in the bathroom before I clocked in. Like somebody said something. I'm not kidding. There was not much hair there. And the razor that they had was old because it was just pulling. It was just basically pulling the hair off my face. It hurt so bad. Because I remember one of my managers like saying to me, like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But then one of them had a problem with it, and the other one didn't. And the one that had a problem with it, all it takes is one. And yeah, I just remember pulling skin basically off of my face. Hair and skin. That hurt. I was afraid it wasn't going to grow back. Luckily it did. I think that lady still works there too. I've only been to that McDonald's a couple of times since I worked there, but I'm pretty sure the last time I went through there, she was still working there, the same manager. She looks the same, too. Like, she really doesn't look like she aged at all. Over the course of... Man, it's gonna be going on 10 years. Through the school year. Sometime in the winter of my age 16 year, when I started working there. Made a bet with your coworker, college hockey team wins national championship. You'll go bald. If they win, you'll go bald? I feel like it should be the other way around. Because don't you want your team to win? I mean, the last 2 years I've grown out my beard during the NASCAR season is like a playoff beard. You know, that's when I'll like put the length on it a little bit more. I still trim down the sides, but I don't like it getting too wild on the sides. Like a couple days ago, I woke up late for work and I didn't get a chance to touch up my beard in the mirror, and that bothered me like all day. Because whenever I had to go to the bathroom at work, and there would be a mirror, so there's debris on the racetrack. Caution's out for the first time. But I would go in, and it just looked bad. I mean, somebody at work was like, it doesn't look that bad. And I'm like, well, to me it does. I was saying I was having a 0 out of 10 beard day. Matt Kenseth bringing out our first caution of the night. It is for debris. I didn't see how few of laps we had left. We're definitely in the final 100. Well past halfway. But caution's out for the first time. I'm just going to pit and put on 4 tires. I know I'm going to be giving up the lead, but we'll get it back. There's quite a few cars a lap down, so we're not going to be in traffic by much. And we'll still have 2 sets of tires left the rest of the way. Might as well top off on fuel while we're down here too, even though we're plenty good to the end. Look clean for the ladies. That's why I started shaving my head like 2 years ago. Because when I was starting to lose my hair in a way that was noticeable enough that I was starting to wear hats a lot more often. The very early days of the channel, there were some streams that I didn't have a hat on. I couldn't tell you like which ones. You'd have to go back and look. But there were several. So it wasn't like it was bad. But then when it was actually getting bad, and I'm like, yeah, I got to do something about this. I didn't have the wasn't fortunate enough at that time. I'm like, man, this is hurting my chances. The single life is tough when you're in the midst of hair loss. Matthew Dorter Bruno, thanks for tuning in. So we got about 65 laps to go now. Dale Jr. is leading. He'll get 5 bonus points with us surrendering the lead. So he tries to keep his title hopes alive for as many races as he can. We started just outside the top 10. Again, not a lot of cars on the lead lap. Still got a little over half a fuel run, though, to get to the end of the race. And it was the hood of Matt Kenseth falling off, bringing out our first caution. There he is to our outside as we pass him for 6th. Oh, oh. Wow, wow. A lot of contact. Honestly, I haven't looked much into the whole Texas flooding situation. I've seen reports of how many deaths that they've had because of it. I mean, it's a lot. Like, it's up over 100 that they've confirmed now. And I don't know how many days ago it was when I last checked. It was within the last day or two. I don't even know where exactly in Texas that this is happening. Just because I don't really follow the news at all. So, you know, if I end up finding out about it, it's a big deal because I don't even pay any attention to the news. And I was still finding out about this. So, yeah, hopefully, I don't know if it's still going on. Like, I don't know if they're still having not only flooding problems, but, you know, has the flooding gone down any? Are they still getting a bunch of rain? I have no idea. But, yeah, hopefully everything is going to be good sometime very, very soon. Like, now, hopefully. That's crazy. I mean, there's hurricanes that have hit the United States and, like, vicious ones that haven't wiped out as many people on the flooding side of things as much as what the flooding that they're getting. I can't even confirm if it's necessarily all because of, like, rain or anything, honestly, because, again, I didn't really look too much into it. I just basically saw the death toll, and that was it. There was flooding in Texas. That's all I know. All right, well, Dale Jr. leads. We've got the tire advantage, plus the fastest car in the field. He's going to put up a fight. 50 laps to go. Got a good run through 1 and 2. Oh, overdrove it. I saw that little bit of an opening getting into turn 1, or turn 3, excuse me, and tried to go for it. I was a little too far back, though. Now we've got to run. Barely kept it off of him and clear. Through 3 and 4. 48 laps to go. Truex back out in front at Bristol. didn't need the yellow. I mean, it didn't hurt us. Oh, that bad. That hurt us way more than any caution would have. I haven't hit the wall that hard the whole race. I only lost the lead because I pitted, so figure why not. Now I have even fresher tires. I was able to get back to the lead anyway. So this is all good. It's going to be very, very difficult for Dale Jr. to make it. Really going to be hard. Unless they all decide to pit if we catch another caution. Clip the wall up off turn 2 again. Kind of like how I was doing early in the race. I was just pushing a little too hard at times. Trying to extend the lead. Like, we're already here. Just got to let the car do the work. Because it's quick. Sam Hornish Jr. all over Dale Jr.'s back bumper for second. With Dale getting some laps led, we're definitely not looking at extending our points lead by much. Dale Jr. is pretty solid at Old Bristol. Gen 4 cars. He's got a Bristol night race win in his career. I'm sure he's won some Busch races here too. Just ran our fastest lap of the day, 14.207 that last time by. It's over a tenth quicker than the fastest lap that I had at Bristol in our first race here in the daytime. With the Sharpie Mini 300. This one's the Food City 250. Just ran our fastest lap again, 14.190. A couple hundredths quicker than the lap that we put down a few laps before that. So fresh tires, clean air. Putting down some heaters. 34 laps to go this time by. I overdrove it. Overdrove it. Kissed the wall a little bit. I didn't get glued to it that time, though. Surprised I was actually in the middle of the corner like that, able to turn off the wall without slowing the car down too much. If I had to do that, then I would have lost the lead. I mean, he's there putting pressure on us, but he's not intimidating me, I guess. Because I know the advantage that we have with tires for the lead, or leading at all up until when he took the lead on this last restart. 30 to go. I'm not losing this race. I'll tell you guys that right now. There's no chance I'm losing. I might be skirting the tires every now and then and brushing the wall, but I can promise you I'm not going to make a major mistake. Not going to give this lead up, let alone lose this race. Mark my words. I mean, I've been a little free the whole day. I haven't made any adjustments to 2 pit stops that we made. I'm also curious to see if this stays green to the end, because I feel like we get a lot of late race yellows in this game. I'd say we get more late race cautions in NASCAR 8 than we have on a consistent basis in any other EA NASCAR game we played on the channel. There's some tracks we get a lot more yellows than others. compared to other games I've played on the EA side, like New Hampshire, which I'll be racing at tomorrow for the Cup Series. I haven't raced there yet, the Busch side. Or the... Well, I did race there in the trucks, but in the trucks we had 12 cautions in a 200-lap race. So I'm curious to see if we get a lot of yellows with the Cup race tomorrow, which will be another car at tomorrow race. We had 22 yellows at Sonoma in the last race we ran. Even Michigan had 4 yellows in those first 50 laps. Obviously, we DNF'd on the last one because of the running out of fuel, but we had 3 cautions for that first run, those first 15 laps. That's when the 3 yellows came out. I don't know if Dale Jr. missed the corner or something, but got a little over half a second on him now. Still driving hard, pushing hard, 21 to go. Pushed a little too hard there. $20 laps left. Yeah, I did see Bowman Gray will be back next season for the Clash again. 2nd consecutive year. Oof. I've noticed when I am clipping the wall, it's still off of turn 2 like it was early in the race. It's obviously from pushing too hard. But I'll kind of clip the safer barrier part of it, where the wall sticks out more than it does on just the concrete wall, specifically down the straightaways. It widens out a bit and then it narrows up when you get into the corner. That car we just passed has quite a bit of damage to this front bumper. Hopefully he's not going to be one of those guys causing any sort of debris yellows. I'd like this race to stay green. Definitely not going to be pitting again. And we're finally starting to put some distance between. Earnhardt's gapped himself over 3rd, though. I don't know that he's going to fall out of 2nd unless he really struggles in lap traffic. Big week for a wrestling fan. Yes, it is. Probably going to be Goldberg's last match ever, unless he somehow wins the title, which the internet would explode if that happened. But you know what? I'm here for it. Because I don't care to the extent that a lot of the internet wrestling community cares. They care way too much. I'll be entertained by almost anything at this point. I mean, I'm easy to please. Doddlebug5, thanks for tuning in. Bump and run by this lapper up here. We'll bump and run. Probably didn't have to do that, but I'll do it anyway. 10 laps to go this time by. About a 2-second lead for Martin Truex Jr. at the Bristol Motor Speedway. I think NASCAR is going to race at San Diego. I don't really know. I stay out of the rumor mill side of things when it comes to NASCAR. I can probably give a little bit more speculation on like silly season stuff, just because I feel like that's a lot easier for fans to digest and have an opinion that is more likely to come true. When it comes to scheduling for NASCAR, I don't buy into any rumors that I see, because I don't know how many times over the years that I've heard, well, this track's coming back, or talking last year when NASCAR was going to international, that it was going to Montreal, and then we end up going to Mexico City instead. We go the complete opposite direction. Yes, we did get our international race. Even look at the Clash, for instance. I thought the whole reason they went to Bowman Gray was a gap year to maybe go to Brazil or something like exactly. Like rumors are rumors, and until they're facts and everything is set in stone, that's all they are rumors. So, do I think NASCAR is going to race San Diego next year? Maybe. What I can tell you is that Chicago does have another year on the contract on an option year, so for right now, I think it is up to the city of Chicago to say whether they want NASCAR to come back or not. The seats were packed for the race this weekend. I didn't really see any empty seats anywhere around the track on the general seating side of things. So, obviously a good turnout. Weather held off this year all weekend, not just on Sunday, even Saturday held off. Well, maybe they pick up. I don't know when their deadline is to pick up the fourth-year option, but I know it's up to the city. Then we'll go from there. They bounce off the wall again. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. 2.5 second lead for Martin Truex Jr. Another win on the season and another step closer to the 3rd career Busch Series championship for Martin Truex Jr. Dominating win here tonight at Bristol. 1 hour, 6 minutes, 1 second total time on the race. That was a quick one. 1-2 finish for DEI. Dale Jr. finishing in 2nd. Yeah, that one yellow, obviously a quick race pace, but man, 1 hour and 6 minutes, that's it. For 250 laps. No, I mean, as cool as it would be, just because I know my area in Toledo, Ohio well, there's no chance they're getting a street race. It's not that big of a city. We don't even have a professional sports team. I mean, we do in the minor league side of things, but that doesn't count. All right. Led 214 out of 250 laps, 4 lead changes, 1 caution, 2.7 second margin of victory. I mentioned already 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 1 second total time on the race. Average race speed of 121.1 miles per hour. Dale Jr. led 17 laps. He started 6th, finished in 2nd. 1-2 finish for DEI. We started 16th, won the race. Greg Biffle, no laps led, finishes 3rd. Sam Hornish Jr. 4th. David Stremme rounds out the top 5 and 5th. Then Mike Wallace 6th. David Reagan 7th. Matt Kenseth 8th, who brought out the only yellow for debris. He started on the pole, led 15 laps today. That's who we actually took the lead from early in the race. He led the first 15 laps. David Reagan led for 4 laps as well. And those are the only 4 drivers that led, with Reagan, Kenseth, Earnhardt Jr., and Truex Jr. Marcus Ambrose 9th. Denny Hamlin rounds out the top 10, and only 10 cars finished on the lead lap. Our other teammate, Paul Menard, finished 16th, 1 lap down. And we had 4 DNFs. Ed Norton beat Finley, Danny Oakland Jr., and Jamie McMurray were the 4 drivers that DNF today with engine failures. No actual crashes, but the 1 caution for debris. Next race will be at California Speedway for the Busch Series. Our next overall race for NASCAR 08 will be tomorrow at New Hampshire, and that will be for the Cup Series. $1,118 is our points lead over Dale Jr. Take a gander here. I think most amount of points we could outscore somebody by, I believe, was 161, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 161. Let's go times 8. So we have to be 1288 ahead. Okay, so we're not going to clinch the championship next race. It's mathematically impossible. Even if he finishes dead last with no laps led and we get a max points day leading the most laps and winning the race, we cannot clinch the title at California. So the hope is that we clinch it after Richmond, which is 2 races from now. We would have to be 1,127 points ahead after the next 2 races. So that means I do control my own destiny. The 2-mile ovals on this game, man, they are tough, though. I didn't win at California in any of the 3 series we raced there. I finished 20th in the Busch race, and that's our next race. And then Michigan, I finished 15th in the Busch series, and I DNF'd in the Cup. So, we'll see what we can do. But that is going to be it. And we will be back again tomorrow. Again, 5 p.m. Eastern will be our start time for our NASCAR 08 Nextel Cup Series race at New Hampshire. Hope to see you for that stream. Again, 5 p.m. Eastern, our start there. Thanks for watching tonight's stream, everybody, and I'll see you back better than ever again tomorrow.